The secret has been unveiled, and XRP is going to go to over $9,868 by the end of 2025. In fact, things are going to get crazy as Brad Gillingham confirms that Ripple has been invited to integrate into massive sectors like we're talking real estate, insurance, and trade finance, unlocking over $650 trillion and echoing what the previous founder of XRP stated, which is that XRP was designed for billions of users and a price of about $10,000. And all of this is set to begin on December 5th when XRP's price will experience a sudden supply shock, overnight going to $27.58. Now you're going to be shocked when I unveil this clip to you guys, which literally confirms that the United States, run by the president Donald Trump, has officially signed a bill to replace the Federal Reserve System, which is the FedNow payment system, with a new, more modern payment network built using XRP for transactions. And now all of this could happen in as early as in days we're talking. We're talking on December 5th, which is only 4 days away, the entire flow of over $650 trillion could unlock onto the XRP ledger, and as a result cause for the massive XRP supply shock, resulting in $27 per XRP, and again by the end of 2025 at over $9,000 to $10,000. And we have decided to give everybody watching this video free money. Yes, for the next 30 days, we partner with Apple to give every single person watching that is part of the Crypto Geek family up to $100 worth of free XRP. Now again, there's no conditions, just like the video, subscribe, share, and most important, this is the most important, sign up on Apple using my link in the description and do a transaction. If you do this, you'll get yourself up to $100 that you can get yourself some more XRP with. This is a very limited time holiday special partnership, so make sure you guys spread the word, let your friends and families claim that free up to $100 worth, get your free XRP, and get yourself a nice bag before the deadline has happened. So spread the word and let's get back to the video. So XRP has pulled a retracement of about 10%, but if you look at it historically and you look at the charts, you realize that the only way for XRP to pull a massive rebound breakout and hit $25 or $27 is by having that retracement. And if you take a look at this, historically, we've seen that after every retracement, a massive breakout occurs. For example, look at this situation, the retracement, the big breakout. And this is likely what we are going to see in the next couple of days. Yes, as we get closer and closer to December 5th, the price will rebound, skyrocketing to potentially as high as $25. And it's happening because of the massive injection of $650 trillion by RealFi, which is the first ever payment reward solution, unlocking over $654 trillion onto the XRP ledger via the Real token. And if you didn't know, I'm very bullish on RealFi and the Real token because this is the Real token. Take a look at this. This is massive. A project that is unlocking over $650 trillion, up 6%, up over 100,000% in its lifetime, which is about 2 or 3 months because it's a relatively new project, and it's continuing to grow every single day. If you take a look at this example, they have very strong support, very low resistance. The charts are priming for a big breakout, and we are talking about Real token having a very low supply. Max supply of 1 billion, phase 1 supply is about 22. I think they're currently sitting at about 3,800 holders, which is actually nothing, because when you look at the big picture here, I mean, XRP is 8 to 10 million holders. Real token is still very, very new. But here's the crazy part, is Real token is about to get listed on a major centralized exchange, and they're unlocking $650 trillion, which means that we're about to see massive volume. I'm talking over $5 billion in daily transaction volume is the exchange that is going to unlock Real token. Real token is going to get listed on there, meaning we're about to see massive volume and massive supply shock. In fact, take a look at this, for example, analyst. Brad Garlinghouse, XRP could overtake Ethereum. That's insane. XRP could literally overtake Ethereum and become the second largest crypto, possibly within weeks, in my views. This is coming directly from Ripple's own CEO, the founder of XRP. And it says on December 5th, Real token built on the XRP ledger will officially launch on a centralized exchange, opening the gates for massive liquidity and potentially a huge spike in trading volume. If even 1% of the $650 trillion market enters, Real token could easily, theoretically surge from 2 cents to over $65,000, creating a supply shock unlike anything the markets have ever seen. Imagine the potential of 3 cents becoming over $65,000, and this is only the start, because really, imagine we're talking about Real token getting listed on a centralized exchange. We're talking normally real world assets, payment systems that get listed, payment projects that get listed on centralized exchanges normally go 50, 100 billion market cap, which means their price normally surges substantially. Real token is, if it does the same thing, I mean, we're talking about thousands of dollars per Real token. In fact, take a look at this right here. If $10,000 right now gets put into the real token, we're talking about the price surging potentially to tens, if not, $50, $60, $70, which is insane. If it does $100,000 in daily transaction volume, also the price would surge to potentially hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. It's insane, but it's because there's not enough supply, and right now it's very, very early. The project is still very new, so there's not a ton of volume. But once you get that volume, the price will absolutely surge. And so this is why we say this is the cheapest point it's ever going to be. I mean, look at the price. It continues to soar. But as we get closer and closer to December 5th, the price is going to soar, and that's it. It's never going to be able to go lower than what it is right now. I mean, this is the cheapest possible price. So again, I want to emphasize, I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advisor using your own research, but you got to do your own research, and you got to look at projects like this, like the real world asset facilitating multi-trillions of dollars, solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. These are the projects that you want to keep an eye on. And it's literally backed by massive institutions like, for example, RealFi. RealFi uses the real token, and they make that clear. And again, this is the number one payment rewards blockchain system. So it's blockchain powered payment reward solution, which is massive. They also allow you to buy real estate using the XRP ledger, using the real token. I mean, this is very, very, very bullish. And again, the date here is December 5th, which is very critical. And again, this is what you got to be keeping an eye for. I mean, the possibility of unlocking massive $5 billion all on December 5th, $5 billion in daily transaction volume, and solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem using the real token on the XRP ledger. I mean, that's very bullish. But just think about the amount of money that is going to end up flowing into the real token. So I'm going to be leaving all the links down below in the description. Again, I definitely recommend you guys look into this project. I mean, I think the money shifting right now, it's shifting into specific XRP ledger tokens. We're getting very close to the end of the massive, massive bull run. I think what we're about to see is one more leg up. And the only projects that are going to make a massive leg up, we're talking hundreds of thousands of percentages, where you can convert 10,000 potentially into 100,000, or 10,000 or 100,000 into 10 million. The possibility of that is only going to happen in projects like this, like the real token, that are new, that are innovative, solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. In fact, the only ones that are going to survive in the bear market are also projects like this. So the time to look into it is now. Definitely do research. I'll be leaving all the links down below in the description for real token. But I think it's also critical. I want you guys to see this video. I think it's very, very important, where Brad Gillingham talks about how XRP is going to overtake, and the XRP ledger is going to overtake Ethereum and the Ethereum technology.
Yeah, so what's affecting the price of XRP has been the SEC. People forget, frankly, before the SEC got involved in the crypto markets, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset, ahead of ETH. And then the SEC got involved and said, hey, we think ETH is probably okay, and ETH went up. And then they sued Ripple, and XRP went down. This is not how our government is supposed to work. We're supposed to have a level playing field and have equal opportunity. We shouldn't have our government picking winners and losers in this regard. We think in the long run we'll prevail, and that'll sort itself out. But for now, it's frustrating for the community, and I like the way you characterized it, for the XRP family.
Now, again, we got to understand where this is going. We got to understand where the money's shifting, and you got to understand how the XRP ledger is going to capture all of it. And we see that it's already beginning to happen as we get into the holiday season, as 650 trillion is about to be injected into the XRPL. And the best way to understand it is by listening to this clip of Brad Gillingham, the CEO of Ripple Labs, as he explains basically XRP is going to bridge all of the money. It's going to be cross-border payments. XRP is built for instant, energy efficient, zero cost transactions, and then all of the global wealth, including the United States, but even externally. So we're talking cross-border payments between Russia, India, China, South Africa, through the entire BRICS, through the European Union. All of the money is going to flow into the XRP ledger via the Ripple system. So listen closely.
The macro environment around custody digital assets is expected to be close to $10 trillion by the year 2030. And inevitably, people are going to need a place to store those assets, and safe, secure, and they're going to need to be able to transfer them as well, having good on and off ramps. Even a tokenization engine, some of the work Ripple is doing around central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. So we think there's a lot of pieces that come together, and we already had, and I remember when you and I first spoke, I remember being on a call with one of the largest top 10 banks in the world, and a bank Ripple was already working with, and they were asking us about, could we help them with their custody? This is prior to the Medico acquisition, and we weren't in a position to do that. And so when we think about that synergy, the ability to say to that existing Ripple customer, hey, here's a best in class, going head to head, time and time again, and winning on the custody level. To be able to bring that product to them, I think is a great opportunity for the two companies together. So,
alright guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video, guys. I'm going to conclude it here. Again, all links will be down below in the description. If you want to get yourself up to $100, for you to get some free XRP on Uphold, or if you want to check out Real Token, everything will be linked down below. With that being said, I'll see you next time, and peace.